Hi guys, welcome back to Rts Share Tea, where respiratory therapists live out loud. With me, your host Linda Fry, the asthma lady. Yes, welcome everybody, welcome to anyone new. I hope you enjoyed your 4th of July weekend, got to see the fireworks and all that good stuff. Okay, so I'm on mommy duty today, so I'm gonna make this quick. So today's episode, this is a good one. We are talking about the worst times to provide asthma education. All right, guys. So we're going to go over, just like when is the best time to do something like that and how it looks like kind of in each setting. So for those of you who don't know, I used to run the asthma program as the director in Brooklyn, New York. So I know I've been doing asthma education in the ER, the inpatient unit, the asthma clinic. I've done home visits, so in the patient homes, in the community settings, schools, daycares, senior centers, churches, you name it, I've done it. All right, guys. So yes, so that is the vibe for today, for today's episode. Okay, for those of you that need CEUs for asthma and PFT specifically, I'm speaking on Monday, July 24th. We're talking about asthma and PFT updates for QHC seminars. So come see your girl. Great speakers. I'll be there. It's gonna be a great price. I will have the description. I will have the link in the description here today. For those of you that are, want to start your own asthma program, or, your institution wants to go in this route, but you don't know how. People come in my DMs all the time asking me questions. Just know that I have the book, Asthma Control Please, 9 Steps to Community Engagement and Asthma Awareness. So it is the best new asthma book of 2023. It is available for free on Amazon Kindle Unlimited. So you can, it's on ebook, it's as it is ebook and on print. Okay, guys, so that's what's going on. Also, we are in the Patreon space. We are moving on to the Patreon space. If you want to support Rts Share Tea, you can do so over there. I'm going to have some content going over there so you can kind of get on the waiting list. And we got some good stuff coming on in the pipelines. All right, so let's go into today's topic, which is when are the worst times to provide asthma education. And yes, I mean the worst times. And like I said, I've done asthma education in so many different settings. So that's how I would know that. Okay, guys. So number one, this is probably the worst one, actually. And I have it as number one. The worst time to provide asthma education is when the patient is being discharged. Okay, so that is the worst time. So if you came in the emergency room, or if you got admitted, you're in the inpatient unit for an asthma exacerbation, and now you are being discharged, it is time to go home. But one thing is stopping you from going home, and that is asthma education, or meeting the asthma team. That is the worst time for someone to come educate you, because now you are irritated, you are annoyed that now you got to get this education, right? So what we do is, as the asthma program director, I have told the team, our medical residents, our nurses, the pulmonary team or whatnot, don't call us right before discharge. Don't do it. If you know that the patient, everything is ready except for that, and that's what's holding them up, that is not the time to call us. So what we do is we just try to coordinate as a team. So if somebody is admitted or, in the emergency room and they want us to see them, we kind of ask, when did they come in, or when we think they're going to leave? You can check the EMR, check the record, and try to play it by ear, the timing, so you can get them out of there. All right, guys. So once again, this is about building rapport and setting people up for success, right? It's in regards to asthma control. You want to make sure that they are open to receiving the information and you're just not talking at them. Okay? So yeah, that is number one. Number two, if the patient is in pain, they have not received their pain management yet. If they're in pain or if they're actually having an asthma attack as we speak, that is not the ideal time to be providing asthma education. It doesn't matter the setting, actually. You know what I'm saying? So imagine when someone is in pain or experiencing an asthma attack, or if you yourself, you have asthma, how you feel at that current moment. You're not going to be able to retain information. You're trying to just make sure you can catch your next breath, or that you're, this pain is distracting you, right, to receiving the information. So think about those things. So when someone makes a referral or asks for a request to be seen for asthma education in a setting like the inpatient unit, we try to make sure, once again, we go check on the patient and just make sure that, how are they feeling? That's the first question. Like, how are you feeling today? You know what I'm saying? And just make sure that they're open to receiving the information. All right. So that is another one. Number three, the phone. So while the person is on the phone, actively engaged on their phone or watching TV. So once again, this is one of those settings, like if we're in the ER, the inpatient unit, or even in the clinic, if the patient is just in their phone, you can't just start talking just because you want to get it out the way. It's remember why you're providing the education, why you're providing the resources. It's because we want asthma outcome to be asthma control. We want you to have the quality information and the resources for your own asthma self-management. So you need to get this information. So you being on the phone, you're not going to grasp anything. So when we see that, we have to ask, can you please tell me when will be a better time, or when will be the best time to come back to provide you with the information? So that's not the ideal time to provide asthma education and then try to enroll them into an intervention or something like that. So be on their time and find out when will be the best time. And if they say, oh, now is, then they most likely they will put their phone down because they realize like, oh, okay, you're asking for their attention at that current moment. So hopefully they'll be like, oh, okay, I'm ready now. And they will put the phone down or turn the TV off or the volume down if they are in the inpatient unit or, or even at home. For those doing home visits. Okay, another time. The worst time to provide asthma education, when the patient is upset, when someone, the client, the patient, someone is visibly upset. So let's say they have been waiting to see, they're at their appointment, they're waiting to see their primary care provider, and the visit is taking much longer than expected. They haven't been seen yet. So that, of course, they're not going to want to hear anything you want to say because they're upset, because they feel like their time is wasted or whatever, they're not being attended to. So what you want to do is just acknowledge their feelings, the emotion, and just play it by ear. That is not the ideal time just to hit them with information. Just see where the tone is, and if it's a part of your protocol, let's say for a clinic, if this is not a first time visit for them, if they're not a new patient, if they're a follow-up, maybe you can provide asthma education right before they go see the provider. So that way they're not kind of just wasting their time. They're not just sitting there not doing anything. You can start to provide asthma education, especially if you have a rapport already. It's like, Ms. Jackson, what's going on? You came in today and what's going on? Ms. Jackson might be upset. And so just be like, okay, Ms. Jackson, you know what? I know, you want to get out of here. Come over here. Let's start. Let's go over let's do return demonstration on your device, your inhaler device, or let's go over your treatment plan, and then you could go see doctor. Yeah. So we always want to go on their time, because once again, this is about building rapport, and they need to be open to receiving the information. And this one is for those that do home visits or do home environmental assessments where you go provide asthma education in the home. So the worst time to provide asthma education is when they trying to get you out the house. They trying to get you out quick. And it's like, listen, I'm pressed for time. That's one of the worst times to provide asthma education because they want you out. Okay. So during the home environmental assessment, know that that session alone where you're walking around with them, identifying triggers and trying to give tips on how to control the triggers or get rid of them, know that that in its own is asthma education. So you sprinkling it here and there in between moving around, right? So if someone is giving you the clue, like, listen, I need you to do this quick, you're going to sprinkle it in between. And then if you can, like, you know, quickly try to talk about the medication, like, hey, did you get the medication? How has it been going? And just reviewing the treatment plan if possible. But other than that, get out of there. You know, you're on their time. Let them know that their time is precious to you and you don't want them to ghost you. This is about building a relationship. You have to come back most likely, or you have to see them in the clinic. So there will be other opportunities to get to the other sections of the asthma education. Well, hopefully anyway. But once again, this is about building the rapport. So their time is very, very important. So stick to that. So that is what it is for today. So those are the worst possible time to provide asthma education, guys. All right. So I hope you learned something here from me today. Remember, we are here every Wednesday on most podcast platforms on 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we are on YouTube every Thursday. So much more to come. I got guest co-hosts lined up, different activities. You'll see. What else? Remember, July 24th, everything will be in the description below if you need your CEUs for asthma and PFT. So that's it, guys. So I just want to say that remember to invest in yourself and to only compete with yesterday's version of you. I'll see you next week. Bye.